Rights Away Subcommittee, the 5th of October 2021. Can I welcome all members, officers and observers to this meeting of the Rights Away Subcommittee, which due to the government's advice to practice social distancing will be held virtually. The meeting is being recorded and will be available via the Council's website to be viewed as soon as practical following the meeting. Anyone participating in the meeting will be accessing this meeting from remote locations. Please could everyone ensure that their mobile phones are switched off or to silent mode. Members will have received an electronic copy of the agenda. I will ask officers to present a summary of the key points. For the record, the agenda can be viewed on the Council's website. Members, officers and any external parties will be speaking at various points during the meeting. And those speaking may switch their cameras on at that point, but I would ask that with the exception of myself as chairperson, at all other times you keep your cameras and microphones switched off, as this will help to minimize any background noise and interference to ensure the connection remains as stable as possible. If any members and officers wish to raise a point or question, they should press the hands up icon on the screen at the right hand side of the Microsoft Teams window, and I will come to you in order. And once I receive the request, please do not use the microphones until I invite you to do so. Please also lower your hand once you have finished speaking. The chat button has been disabled for the meeting. An officer from Democratic Services will be supporting the meeting and be monitoring the use of microphones throughout the meeting, and when necessary, be mute those not being used. Before we formally commence, I will ask the officer from the Democratic Services to announce the names of the councillors in attendance at this meeting. I would also ask officers and any of the speakers to introduce themselves as and when I invite them to speak during the course of the meeting. They too should ensure microphones and cameras are switched off when not in use. The Democratic Service officer will announce the names and members in attendance, please.
Thank you, Chair. Members in attendance today are Councillor Keith Edwards, Councillor Gary Thomas, yourself as Chairperson, and Councillor Richard Granville. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Richard. Have I got apologies, Mark, please? Mike?
Yes, Chair. I received apologies from Councillor Webster, Councillor Radcliffe and Councillor Voisey.
Thank you. Any declarations of interest, please? No one? Can I have a mover, please, and a second of the approval of the minutes in 1999, please?
I'll formally move, Chair.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Seconder?
Second, Chair.
Thank you very much. Item 4, proposed division of Footpath 19.
Sorry, Chair.
Yes.
Sorry, Chair. Can I just raise a point about the minutes of the last meeting? The observers at the last meeting, Gordon Wheeler from the British Horse Society and Les Meachin from the Ramblers, together with the agent for the landowner, the applicant, Kerry Griffiths, weren't mentioned in the minutes. They should have been on there, but they weren't mentioned. It was raised yesterday with Cabinet Committee section.
Make a note of that, Andrew, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You going to take note, Mark?
Yeah, I've made a note of those, yeah.
Thank you very much. Item 4, proposed diversion of Footpath 19, Colchester Lower, and proposed part extinguishment of Footpath 18, Colchester Lower. Andrew, when you're ready, please.
Thank you, Chair. As members will know, we usually carry out a site visit before the Rights Away Subcommittee meeting. Now, I do have some photos of the site if members would like to see those, or I can go straight into the report, whichever the Chair would like to do.
I think we'll see the photographs first, please, Andrew.
No problem. I'll share some photographs. Yeah, I'll share some photographs of the site then for you. Right, so on the screen now is just a location plan. The red circle marks the area of Bridgend where the site is located. So as you can see, it's to the south of Bridgend town, to the south of the Ford factory, so basically on the boundary between Bridgend and the Vale of Glamorgan. And the site is basically bounded by the County Borough boundary. So on the one side is the A48, it's the Brocastle site it is, and then it comes round and then goes up the County Borough boundary on the other side. The two public footpaths are footpath 19, which is the lower footpath. That's the one that's most affected by the development. And then footpath 18 to the north of the site, most of which isn't affected by the development, apart from this very small bit on the eastern side of the boundary. So that was the site as it was in 2015. And just for comparison, that was the site as it was in 2020, as it was being developed.
Thank you, Andrew. Any questions, members, please?
I have got some photos of the actual site itself, so I can quickly go through those for members as well. So this is the existing footpath. So this is the start of the footpath at point A on the map that was provided in the report. That's the existing gate that leads out onto the footpath, and members will be aware that in the report it states that the very first section of the footpath isn't going to be diverted. And then the next photo is, this is basically looking across the site, and footpath 19 basically runs across the site towards the hedge in the far distance. So at the moment, it used to be all farmland. Obviously, at the moment, it's all been ploughed over or developed, and will have industrial units on there at some point in the future. And then if you just bear with me, I will now get some plans showing the alternative for the main diversion. That's some photos, sorry. So this is the proposed alternative route of footpath 19. So again, starting at point A, and then from point A, the footpath goes along the hedge alongside the A48. So this is looking towards point C on the map of the proposed diversion. And then from point C, it also follows another hedge boundary and a slight embankment on the right-hand side of the photograph. And this is looking back from point D on the plan to point E, point E on the plan to point D. And this is at point E on the proposed diversion plan, where a gate has been put in by the developer. That isn't actually mentioned on the report, and it's something that I wasn't aware of until fairly recently. So that'll be included as a limitation on the order. And at point E, this is where the first of the enhanced landscaping areas have been planted. So this is where the proposed diversion will go. It'll go over this style, and you might be able to see this blue marker halfway through the planting. Don't know whether members can see that. If I zoom in, that blue marker there. That is where the footpath goes. It goes to that blue marker and then veers off to the right-hand side. But for those who are not able to get over the style, the developer has agreed where the enhanced landscaping areas are to include a 2-metre wide strip, a permissive path for the next 5 years, so that people who don't want to climb over the stiles and go through the enhanced planting areas, they will be able to use this path so that they don't have to climb over the stiles. The path then gets to the other end of the enhanced planting areas, and you'll see a couple of blue stakes, which is where the alignment of the path is, and it comes out, and you can see the wire fence, which is the stock-proof fence to keep the rabbits out of that area, which is why we've got stiles in. There isn't a stile in this fence at the moment, but it will be put in as soon as the diversion is completed. And then from there, the footpath continues along the development. Basically, we're going now from point G through to point H, and then all the way to point I, which is in the distance here, roughly just in front of where that tree is. That's point I, which is where the main diversion route will join footpath 18, Coy Church Lower. We will then now continue at point J on the map, which is the additional section of the footpath that's being diverted. The path has been temporarily closed for 18 months or so, and there is actually a footbridge within this hedge, or within this overgrowth, and that will all be cleared before the diversion is operational. And then from the other side of that footbridge, the footpath comes across this area of open ground, and goes to the hedge, and there's another footpath in that hedge which is usable, and the footpath will go through over that that footbridge into the Vale of Glamorgan. So that basically is the diverted route.
Thank you, Andrew. Any questions, members, please?
Chair, just one. If well, I take it, Andrew, the applicant is asking for this diversion order.
Yes, that's right. The applicant is asking for the diversion order under the Town and Country Planning Act, because obviously this whole area is being redeveloped at the moment, and it's the applicant that's asked for the diversion. Okay,
that's my first question. Second question is on the access to, you've got a step over, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, can we take that out and put a proper gate in there? Because for people that are disabled, right, or partly disabled, I think we're disenfranchising them from going for walks in the countryside, and I think it should be part and parcel now that stiles should be done away with, and gates, as where applicable, should be put in place.
Are you talking of where the enhanced landscaping corridor areas are, Councillor Granville?
Yeah. I can see the two gates when you put the two sign first put it up, but when you go for a walk where the enhancement is, you've got a stile. That's all I'm saying, is take the stile away, get the developer to put a gate in there. Not us, but him.
Yeah, if you go to, I mean, I can take you through the report if you like, because obviously we've just gone through, the photographs, and we haven't actually gone through the report. I don't mind going through the report, but this is referred to in paragraph 4.26 onwards in the report, where it says that, and we actually explain why we're having to put stiles there, and that's why I said there was a permissive path at the alongside those enhanced planting areas. Basically, the enhanced planting areas have fences, are enclosed by fences, and those fences have got to be complete all the way around to stop rabbits getting in them. Because they would obviously destroy all the plants that have been planted. And if we tried to put a kissing gate or a pedestrian gate in those fences, no matter how small the gap was, the rabbits could potentially get through. So we've agreed that with the applicant that we will let them put stiles in either side of those enhanced planting areas, provided that they make this 2 metre wide permissive path alongside those areas, so that people who don't want to climb over or can't climb over the stiles are able to use the permissive path at the side. Now, that fencing is only going to be in place for 5 years, so those stiles will only be there for 5 years, And after that, all the fencing will be removed and there won't actually be any structures there at all. You'll be able to walk all the way through. As I say, that's paragraphs 4.26 to 4.28 of the report details why this is happening and what we've agreed with the applicant.
Yeah, I can read that in the report. Oh, that's fair enough, Andrew. As long as we make it quite clear to people that there is an alternative route there for people to walk, signage. That's all I'm concerned about. I don't want to see anybody disenfranchised, that's all.
Yes, certainly we can take the idea of signage on board, Councillor Granville. So yeah, we can put additional signage on the route for the first 5 years to make people aware that there is the alternative permissive path to avoid using the stiles.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Councillor. Any questions, Keith, please?
No, Chair. I've read the report. I've looked at the agreements with everyone, and I'm quite happy. Obviously, we will go through the report, but no, at this point, no questions, no.
Thank you, Councillor. Is there anybody else like to ask me questions, please? Are you all happy with the proposal?
Yes, Chair. I'm fine with it.
Mr. Griffiths just come online. Is he going to speak?
Hi, sorry, yeah, it's Martin Griffiths from Arcadis. So we're consultants working on behalf of Welsh Government on the project. So I don't think I've got anything else to add to what Andrew has sort of raised on the route, unless anyone's got any questions they'd like us to address.
Any questions, members?
None from me, Chair.
Thank you. Right. Are you all in favour of the officer's recommendation?
I'll formally move, Chair.
Second?
Second, Chair.
Yeah. So all in favour? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. All right, Andrew?
Yes, that's great. Thanks, Chair.
Item 5, urgent items. We got no urgent items. Well, thank you very much, all. Anyways, you take care.